Hey everyone. I think it might be light attendance today with a few people on public holiday. So yeah, let's get started. It's Monday, June 6th. This is the Database Scalability Working Group weekly meeting. Looks like I have the first couple agenda items, just more FYIs and updates. So first one is that we publicly announced the downtime window for the decomposition rollout. There were some announcements in Slack and what's happening in GitLab, and then we published a blog post last Thursday, June 2nd. So that's live now, and so we'll continue with the comms plan with more updates and follow-ups leading up to the actual rollout, which is scheduled for July 2nd. Next update is that Dylan just made an update to the phase 7 timeline with some additional staging and integration test runs and links to those change requests and issues. So right now we're planning the final staging rollout. So that's executing the decomposition without testing the rollback and just leaving it like that in staging. That's currently scheduled for June 14th. So next, I want to say Wednesday, next Wednesday. And Camille, you have the next items.
Yeah, so I actually checked, like, we no longer have any development work needed for the production rollout. All tools that we need to also execute the rollback scenarios, they are merged. So it appears like this is everything complete as of this moment, unless something new pop-ups. And you ask about like the next plan. I think we kind of started thinking today about a next phase that we may introduce, phase 8, which is actually remove the CI data from main cluster to relieve the storage, which is becoming a concern in looking at our saturation metrics. So unless there's gonna be something urgent popping up, which seems unlikely given how many tries we had on staging, we're gonna be focusing now on probably two paths. First, like truncating data. Second path, figuring out how to handle on-premise installation. So like start to think about that. This is gonna be the development focus.
Yeah, that's a great update. Thank you. Yeah, it's reassuring to know that we've finished all the development work well ahead of the scheduled rollout. So yeah, I think that makes sense. The development team is still pretty heavily focused on supporting infrastructure in the various testing and rollout steps. So not quite looking ahead, not starting that work yet, but yeah, I think looking ahead makes sense and thinking about what's beyond that. And I did, yeah, there was some discussion about saturation and when we want to actually remove the data, and I link that in your point below, Camille. So yeah, thanks for that update.
I posted another comment because there was like a question floating around like about the benefit when we were working on the blog post. And this is like some preliminary results, like take it like with pretty big grain of salt because of like the way how we measure that. So the preliminary results shows that really like it depending on the time of the day, we see like bigger CPU connection benefit around the rush hours, where there's like significantly more CI pipelines being created, which seems to be like much closer to 45% even. But on average, it seems like depending on the data that you look, there is like a link to Slack. This benefit is like somewhere between on average 30 to 35%. But like, as I said, take it like with some grain of salt because of the way how it's being calculated. For sure, like the storage benefit is like 35%. We're not gonna remove more than CI tables. So this is what we're gonna be looking at. We're gonna definitely remove a significant amount of the connections from the primary, and like it really depending on time of the day. In the rush hour, it's like closer to 40 and over 40%. So it's gonna give a quite amount of the headroom if we have to spin up new front-end nodes or sidekey nodes. And I'm kind of like curious, and like we started discussing that because initially we were estimating more closer to 40–50%. But since this is like a moving target, and I know there was like a lot of work on the CI front to make CI more efficient, this may be like an indicator that CI impact relatively to everything else either stayed the same or just simply got better over this like 1 year that this project took time. So this is something that we like to retrospect later, like how this changed over time. But these are the numbers as of this moment.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming up with those estimates. And I agree. I think that's a good point. We should make sure, even as we close out the working group, and make sure that we're that we have some way to remind ourselves to check in and like you said, retrospect on this, and make sure that we've over time are quantifying the benefits from this project. That could see that informing whether we might want to consider decomposing other tables versus other methods to make them more efficient. So cool. And then last item, Jerry.
Well, we should definitely make some t-shirts. So yeah, I'll ask around to see if that's something we can do, and then how do we go about doing it? I'm sure.
Gary, I'm sure that Fabian asked about some UX or like graphics to create.
Nice.
Already. So I'm gonna link you. Maybe or maybe we should ask Fabian, because I know that we discussed about having t-shirts specifically for the contribute.
Okay. That's right. Everybody's thinking along the same lines. So yeah, I'll connect with Fabian and we'll figure out what is it that we need to do to get some t-shirts done.
Sunjung, the UX designer for Geo and distribution, made all of the different enablement team ones, like Geo has one, and database and memory. So maybe she can help. But yeah, I'll add it to the exit criteria. I think it's important to close out the group with something fun. I'm envisioning like I helped to decompose the main database, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt type of logo.
I was thinking more along the lines of a meat grinder. See, a slab of data went in and stuff came out. So anyway, no, that's a joke. But,
yeah, sounds like we need an issue to discuss the ideas. Maybe the most difficult issue of this effort is the t-shirt design.
Yeah, I don't think that one is going to be data driven.
No. Awesome. All right. Looks like we're at the end of the agenda. Anything else for discussion? All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.